I will tell you all the red flags that I ignored because I forgot all the things my grandmother, my parents, my aunts, my ancestors taught me. I forgot all the etiquette lessons I had, all the tutors that taught me my whole freaking life, all the piano lessons that I had, all the strict lessons, all the singing lessons, all my tutors I ever had in my life that had nothing to do with my education outside the house at the institution at the school. No, the home education, the investment my parents and my grandparents did for me, all the private lessons I had in tutors and in etiquette and all these things, I forgot. I had to reawaken. I forgot everything. I had to reawaken. And that happens because we are human. We do forget our values. We are humans. It happens. So the third red flag, this gentleman came to pick me up, and he didn't get out of the car to ring my doorbell. He was honking outside, the horn, the car horn, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're going to get out of the car and ring the bell and pick me up like a gentleman of high value. But obviously, he was not of high value. I was, but I forgot also. I was like, I will forgive him and go anyway. So he was sending me messages, come out, I'm waiting outside through WhatsApp. And I'm like, yeah, no, pick up, come. And I haven't told him to just get out of the car and ring the bell. I was feeling so irritated. And at that point, I shouldn't have gone on the date. She said, no, that is my value. If a man is not raised well by his parents, then you're not supposed to date me. So the second red flag. So we drove to the park, to the city center. We were going to have dinner, and he parked the car, and we started to walk together to the restaurant. And suddenly he started to talk, and he said, "You know what? All women are prostitutes. All women are prostitutes. All women are whores." I'm like, okay, what's going on here? He said, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you're a whore in Amsterdam and you get fucked by 100 men and get paid, or you get fucked by one husband who gives you everything. A whore is a whore." Se- First date. First date. The man is telling me this. Red flag, I ignore. I started to giggle. I was nervous about that. Why would you say that? I say, hey, you're so funny that you talk like, hey. I had such a low self-esteem. I was in such a low place emotionally to ignore that and start to giggle about the stupid comment. The fucking that was the message God was telling me. Listen, girl, this man is gonna kill you. That was God saying, that man is speaking like that is gonna kill you. You're gonna end up in a ditch dead. What do you think what happened down the road when I kept interacting with this man? Because my obsession was, of course, I'm Catholic, I need to get married. My obsession was with getting married. It didn't matter with who. I never got married. So I ignore all these things. I said, when we are at the church, God will bless, the priest bless him, he will get over it. So I thought when we get married, we are at a church, and when the marriage will get blessed by the priest, he will suddenly change and become a perfect husband, and we will live happily ever after. Imagine this, a man maybe 10 years, 15 years older than I am. Even that was a red flag from my side. Why am I going to want to marry someone who's 10 years older than me, 15 years older than me, maybe 20 years older than me? What's wrong? Why can't I just marry someone from my generation? That was the first thing I should have thought of. The man is too old for me. The man is totally mentally disabled, mentally unstable. And I ignored all the red flag and decided, oh yeah, well, he will change. Yeah, he will change. When? At this state of mind, this emotional state that I was in. I had no business trying to find someone to get married. Of course, I wanted to have a husband. I never got married in my life. Um, and I cannot live with a man unmarried because I'm a Catholic. I think there is some things that, in this the marriage being blessed by a priest and all these things is supposed to happen, and it will help. Being blessed in the church, the marriage being blessed in the church has value to me. And yeah, but I was ignoring all the red flags. God was giving me hunches. That man was just doing all these things, and I was just sleeping. I was blind. And of course, that was years ago. This was long time ago. I wasn't going to church. I didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't interact with God. I knew I was Catholic, and of course, I did the same traditional prayer every night before I go to sleep, and that's it. That was me being a Catholic. I wouldn't go to church. I started go to church again in 2020. That is another story. And then the first time I put my foot in the church, and then the bam, it was a international lockdown. The first time I would go to church, there was a complete lockdown internationally. Why? In 2020, it was a corona thing, and I was like, okay, God, you don't want me to go to church? So, yeah, I was like confused. Okay, I was getting off topic then. This whole Corona thing and me going to church for the first time after 30 years is another story. But then, after ignoring this man comment about all women are whores and prostitutes, blah blah blah, I went to dinner anyway. I was supposed to just turn back and go back home. I didn't. The second red flag I ignored. The third red flag was we were sitting at the table, and the man started to stretch out, like us, like a low life person, and open his mouth and yawn and cough with open mouth and all these things with his mouth. He opened his mouth. He would use like tissue to or yawn in a tissue. No, his mouth was open like that. His body was reacting in a chic restaurant. That is, I mean,